Okay, I was able to move up my hay cutting schedule by a day. We had 3/10 of rain. It came sometime around midnight, I think. But it's dried. It's taking it forever to dry off because it was sunny this morning when I got up and got around and started doing stuff, and then this cloud cover rolled in, and it's been kind of in and out of sunshine for a good chunk of the rest of the day. But it's supposed to clear up before evening here and be nice. This is Wednesday. We got good weather Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, so I figure if I get it cut today, depending on humidity, might be able to make it Friday, most likely Saturday, but for sure ought to be able to get it made by Saturday. But this is the custom field that I was telling you about, and as you can see, it is trash. It is the vast majority of the tall stuff that you see is all buckhorn plantain. There's a little bit of grass out here, but not much. It was supposed to be Timothy orchard grass mix, and I don't think, I guess there is a little bit of alfalfa in it. That must be volunteer, because she said that the mix that she had the guy plant didn't have any alfalfa, so that must be volunteer from the last, because it was a hay field and it had soybeans put in it for a year, and then from what she said, this is a 2-year-old stand, and it is just this is embarrassing. And if I planted this, I like I say, I don't know who planted it. I know it's had a couple different people making hay off of it, so I don't know which one. I don't know the story. Not my problem. It's just, my God, it is rougher than hell. They didn't work it down at all. So like I said, and all I've got to do is mow it, rake it, bale it, drop it. They're gonna come pick the bales up. So I told her, I came out here and looked at it 3-4 months. It was before I started planting. I think, pretty sure it was before I started planting. And I told her, I was like, honestly, there's not even anything out here worth making, because there's nothing out here with any feed value. Because like I say, this buckhorn's got it. All the grass is just choked out by this buckhorn. And she said, I know, but by the end of the year I'm going to have be rid of all my animals, and so she just wants a cutting made off of it. It's like, okay, all I got, I'm just getting paid to do it. It's not like I got to feed it out, so we're going to do what we can with it. And it kind of opens up in the back and gets a little wider. Basically where that opens up, there is a little bit more back there, but not much. But like I was saying, since this is her last year wanting any hay off of it, because she's going to have all of her animals gone, and this was her parents' farm, and now her brother owns it. It's actually kind of a cool little farmstead. I'm guessing back in the day there's probably more buildings here, but I'd guess like a 1920s, 30s-ish vintage farmhouse, and the barn's probably maybe a tad newer than that, and I'd bet there was a few other outbuildings here at one point, but it's kind of a cool little farm. It was probably this entire clearing at one point, but now that corn is somebody else's property. But anyhow, hopefully her brother will rent it back out to me, and like I say, get this cutting off of it. This has not been cut since last year. So I mean, you saw what my hay looked like getting made late on one cutting, or on first cutting, and this is what, 5 weeks behind that or more. I can't remember when probably closer to, when did I finish up? Yeah, probably about 5 weeks. And this is all the more, it's a mess. It's a mess. So hopefully, if he'll rent it back out to me, get this cutting off of it, get it, let it go until it's about that time, and then come in and moldboard it, plant it to wheat, take the wheat off next fall or next summer, and turn around and replant it back to hay. So hopefully get something on it that is better than this mess, because this is bleh. She's got 2 donkeys left. She sold her horse already. I bet they pick through it and don't eat half of it, unless they're not picky eaters, but just, it's pretty atrocious. But anyway, so for the first round, got to unhook the crimper. Actually, for the first 2 rounds, that's the other nice thing. This field's nice open. There's nothing to go around. There shouldn't be any backing up or anything stupid like that. So I can actually pull the crimper behind the mower and we can do all this in one pass. For the first 2 rounds, I got to unhook the crimper. We'll get the field opened up, then I can put the crimper on. The outside round's not going to be able to get conditioned, because if I put it on, if I make a round around the outside, it would be going backwards to what you normally be cutting, and then you spin around and come back across the pass you just made. Well, since you're going to be going backwards with the direction to cut, the crimper's not going to pick it up, because you got to be crimping in the same direction, at least for the first pass. Once you make one pass for the crimper, you can go over it any direction you want and it'll pick it up because it's fluffed up. But so I got to take the crimper off, make the first round, turn around, make the second round, and then after the second round's done and everything will be going in the right direction, then we can put the crimper on. I just haven't figured out how you condition the outside round, because the only way you can run it with the mower is to have the bar down, and you can't have the bar down because you'll be running into stuff with the bar. So I guess the outside round just doesn't get conditioned. But let me get set up here and we'll get to cutting. That field rough. Rough. Yeah. So anyhow, I got my 2 rounds around the outside done. We're hooked up to the crimper, so it's my first time running them in tandem, obviously. So this is going to be interesting to see how this goes. Here goes nothing. that was pretty damn cool. Once you get used to running it, that's, I mean, it's loud, but that's a pretty fun rig to run once you get used to it. Which it doesn't take you very, I mean, once you're used to running it, it's not a big deal, but I kept trying to watch where I was going, watch the cutter bar, watch the crimper, watch the whole 9 yards, which is quite a lot to keep an eye on. But after a couple rounds, once you trust everything, you don't even pay attention to the crimper. You know what's back there by the sound it's making, and you just watch the cutter bar and watch where you're going. And after that, it's pretty slick. Unfortunately, my 2 fields are not very copacetic to running that thing in a train like that, just because there's too much crap to mow around and what have you. But we were able to do this one like that, which worked out pretty nice. The only issue I had out here was because the field's so damn rough, I kept hitting like little dirt mounds, and then it'd get dirt on the cutter bar, and then it'd plug up with grass, and you gotta stop, shake the bar off, keep going again. But I never plugged up on anything other than dirt, because it's like a bunch of little mounds just like this, just scattered all over. You'd swear to God it's a prairie dog habitat. The only way you'd be able to keep making hay off of it the way it is, I mean, it's not worth trying to keep making hay off of it the way it is. But if you were going to try to keep making hay off of it the way it is, you'd have to find somebody with a field roller or rent a compactor from a rental store or something. But you would need one heavy ass roller to come out here and pack this thing back flat, because it's like trying to mow a cornfield. It's that rough. It's just terrible. And I'm probably gonna have to triple rake it to make the windrows big enough to even bother trying to pick up. So it's gonna be interesting. But if this is a 4-acre field basically on the dot. I'm doing a satellite map of it, and if it makes 150 bales, I'll be impressed. If it does more than that, it'll be awesome. But and it's not even, it wouldn't even be a good quality 150 bales. It would just be 150 bales of weeds. But that's what she wanted, so as long as it hopefully leads to me ending up with the field on my terms in the end, that's hopefully what I'm going for here. So I just get paid to do it as of right now. So anyhow, with that being said, we are off. Okay, come out of there. Yeah, screw it. We're off to do my hay now. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna leave the Crimper right there, and we're gonna get this mowed and Shelly's mom's mowed. We'll go back to the barn, drop the mower, come back, grab the Crimper, get them crimped, and that'll take care of this part of the project. here's a big old nope rope. Trying to look at its tail. It's got diamonds on it. I'm not too unsure. That might not be a Michigan rattler, judging by the way he's curling up to strike, or he, she, it, whatever. Pretty sure, although it's not rattling, but I'm pretty sure that's a Michigan rattler. Pretty sure. It's two-tone brown with diamonds. It's got to be the way it's curling up to strike like that, because if it was just a hog snake or a rat snake or something, they don't do that. Well, he better move, because if he doesn't with that kind of attitude, I'm just going to run him over and kill him. Normally I'm not a fan of hurting snakes, because they're good at rodent control, but with your pissy attitude there, whatever happens, happens. Oh no, you ain't getting up on this tractor with me, you son of a bitch. I guess it's not a rattler. I don't see a rattle, but he's still a little bit more angry than I'm willing to pick up. But the shape of the triangle-shaped head and the coloring is what's got me worried. Well, anyhow. Kill him, but poor bastard just went under the mower. Well, the locator guys ain't gonna be happy, but I'm not mowing around their flags, and I'm not running them through the mower and whatnot. So sorry, locator guys. This field's already got enough crap to mow around in it. But I'll leave them here for you. So, just gotta get this mowed, and then we can get to conditioning. it definitely takes this this hay mix a year to get its feet under it, but once it does, boy oh boy, this is some really nice, this is some excellent second cutting. That stuff was thick, still kind of wet. Might almost need to ted this out after it's crimped. Guess we'll have to see how it looks, but I love making nice hay, and that's gonna be some nice hay. But let's go drop the mower, and then we'll go grab the crimper and get that done. Well, I worked on this thing this morning to take those kinks out that it got in it from eating that chunk of rebar the last go around, and apparently I still don't have something quite right, because where did I go? There's a rub mark here. Oh, there's a rub mark right there. That's fresh. So there's gotta be because here this is where one of the bent ones was, and that was one of the bent ones. Now that being said, I also noticed that apparently in all the rattling around, it also rattled the set screws loose in this top one, and it slid that way. So I need to center it back up and tighten the set screws back up. But I only see that one rub mark, so I don't know why it's so damn loud. Right there, so it's gonna be right in here. Plenty of slop, and apparently that spot just needs to go a little bit more. And then there is a rub mark right there. Where does that line up? That lines up with that spot right there. I don't know, I'll have to do some investigating, because it clearly only does it when it's under power, because I can't get it to replicate it just rolling it over by hand. And there's obviously nothing binding I mean, this thing was never quiet to begin with, because you got hollow tubes that are steel on steel, so they sound like gongs. But what I like to do for this thing, because it needs to come, wait a minute, what's going on here? Yeah, okay, none of that's fresh wear, so there's nothing down there. These rollers need to come out anyhow, because this top one, this is long before I bought it, but must have ate a rock or something and knocked some of those fins out, which shouldn't necessarily be a problem, because that it drives from both ends, and it's got these same drive nubbins down there. But the rollers need to come out so that that can be fixed. And what I'd like to do when I get the rollers out is see what it would take, or if it's at all feasible, to fill these or drill holes in them, do whatever I need to do, and figure out a way to fill these things with spray foam to take that resonance out of them, and that'd quiet it down a lot. But definitely got to figure out why it's so damn loud right now. There's actually two. There's one right there and there's one right there, which would line up. But there's no matching rub mark there. There. So anyhow, I guess I'll mess with it tomorrow before I put it away and see if I can figure out why. Well, get the roller back where it belongs and see if I can figure out why the heck it's so dang loud. Because the only way you can run it, I mean, it sounded loud behind the mower, but I didn't think nothing of it because it's always loud. But you get it right behind the tractor, the only way you can run it is standing up, because that's the only way you can get far enough away from it to not get a headache. So something's gotta happen, because it's pretty bad. But anyhow, hay looks good, so hopefully we can get her made before the next rain. So with that being said, I'm gonna get home and get some food. So that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one.